In a village nestled where the earth kissed the sky and traditions were as old as the whispering baobab trees, there lived a woman named Ifeoma. Ifeoma was enchanting, with eyes that were dark pools of wisdom and laughter that could make even the sternest elder smile. Despite her beauty and charm, she remained unmarried, a source of endless gossip among the villagers. Tired of her solitude and desperate to find a husband, Ifeoma sought the counsel of the village oracle, an ancient woman named Abini, known for her ability to commune with the ancestors. Abini's hut, filled with the scents of herbs and ancient scrolls, was a place of mystery and reverence. As Ifeoma entered, Abini spoke, her voice a soft whisper that seemed to come from another realm. "Child, your destiny is unlike any other. The man who fathers your child will become the ruler of this village, and his reign will bring unparalleled prosperity." Intrigued and emboldened, Ifeoma devised a radical plan. She would invite every eligible man in the village to share her bed, reasoning that this way, she would find her destined husband and secure the best future ruler for her people. Weeks turned into months, and the village buzzed with rumors. Ifeoma's unconventional search for a husband became the talk at every gathering around every fire. Finally, Ifeoma found herself with child. She was radiant, her belly round and full, a living testament to the prophecy. As her due date approached, tension thickened in the air. Each family with an eligible son began to claim the unborn child as their own, laying their stake to the future chieftainship. In the midst of this turmoil, Ifeoma gave birth to a healthy baby boy. The village rejoiced, but the joy was short-lived. The immediate and pressing problem was clear: who was the father of this child born to rule? Elders convened, wives gossiped, and warriors sharpened their spears. Everyone had a theory, and every man wanted a test. The village teetered on the brink of civil war, and only the true identification of the child's father could bring peace. Yet Ifeoma remained serenely confident. She knew that the prophecy would not fail her, nor would it fail her people. With her newborn son cradled in her arms, she awaited the revelation that would change the fate of her village forever. A week had passed since the birth of Ifeoma's son, whom she named Chima, meaning God knows. The Council of Elders, the esteemed body responsible for making major decisions in the village, convened under the oldest baobab tree, its gnarled branches sagging with the weight of the momentous decision ahead. "Our ancestors have always shown us the way in times of both harmony and discord," said Enkem, the eldest among them, his voice trembling like the last leaves of autumn. "We must seek their wisdom to resolve this crisis." Just then, Abini stepped into the circle, her eyes glowing with a fire that seemed almost supernatural. "I have spoken with the ancestors," Abini began, her voice a mesmerizing melody that silenced even the cicadas. "They propose a test, one that will reveal not just the father of young Chima but also the future leader of our people." Murmurs spread through the council. Even among the elders who had seen many harvests, this was unprecedented. "The test," continued Abini, "will require each potential father to undertake a journey to the sacred mountain. At its peak lies a moonstone imbued with the wisdom of our ancestors. The man who returns with this stone will be deemed the true father and the destined ruler of our village." A collective gasp filled the air. The sacred mountain was a place of many perils: wild beasts, treacherous terrain, and above all, spiritual trials that could break even the strongest will. Yet the Council of Elders knew there was no other way. "It is decided," Enkem spoke after a moment of ponderous silence. Each claimant will set forth at dawn 3 days hence. May the ancestors guide us. As the council dispersed, a kaleidoscope of emotions filled the village square: excitement, fear, and hope, all woven together in a tapestry as intricate as life itself. Ifeoma, holding Chima close to her chest, felt a calm assurance wash over her. The ancestors had set the stage, and now it was up to the men to prove their mettle. 3 days later, at dawn, a sense of expectant hush enveloped the village. The air was thick with the smell of burning sage as incense billowed from the homes, seeking the blessings of the ancestors for the journey ahead. 6 men stood in the village square, each representing a different family claiming Chima as their kin. Their faces were a canvas of emotions: eagerness, fear, and a simmering excitement that seemed almost palpable. Ifeoma, cradling Chima in her arms, watched them quietly. Her eyes met each of theirs, conveying a wordless message: may the best man win. With the blow of a horn and the beat of drums, the journey began. Each man carried a satchel filled with offerings: kola nuts, palm wine, and sacred amulets, to honor the spirits of the sacred mountain. The path was laden with challenges both physical and mystical: rivers that twisted like serpents, forests that whispered secrets, and caves that echoed with the laughter and cries of forgotten souls. However, the real test lay at the foot of the sacred mountain. A stone altar stood there, inscribed with ancient runes that told tales of heroes and gods, love and betrayal. Beside the altar was a pool of water so clear it mirrored their deepest fears and desires. As the men reached the altar, a voice echoed around them, a voice so ethereal it seemed to belong to the mountain itself. Offer what you value most, and you may proceed, the voice resonated, filling the air with an unspoken gravity. One by one, the men approached the altar. Some offered gold, others heirlooms passed down through generations, but nothing happened. The way to the peak remained sealed, as if mocking their futile attempts. Finally, it was Chidi's turn. Chidi was not the wealthiest or the strongest among them, but he was known for his wisdom and humility. Instead of placing an object on the altar, he knelt and offered a prayer for the village, for Ifeoma, and for the unborn generations who would inherit the earth. As he finished, the altar glowed a soft, radiant light, and the path to the peak opened up as if summoned by the prophecy foretold. Awed and humbled, the men followed Chidi as he led the way. The weight of their journey seemed a little lighter, their resolve a little stronger, bound by the newfound understanding that true leadership required more than just wealth or strength, it required the wisdom of the heart. The ascent up the sacred mountain was unlike any other climb. Every step seemed to be a dance between the earthly and the divine, where physical exertion met spiritual enlightenment. The men felt their breaths grow shorter, but their senses heightened. Every rock, every gust of wind appeared imbued with ancestral wisdom. Finally, they reached the peak, where the night sky seemed to be within arm's reach, twinkling stars bearing witness to this pivotal moment in the village's history. There it was, the moonstone, glowing softly in the moonlight, almost as if pulsating with the heartbeat of the mountain itself. Chidi approached the stone first, his hands trembling as he touched its cool surface. The moonstone lit up, its glow intensifying into a radiant beam that shot up towards the sky, returning as a cascade of light that enveloped him. Son of Akin, a celestial voice echoed, you have proven your worth. This child, Chima, is yours, and you are destined to lead your people. Overwhelmed by emotion, Chidi fell to his knees. The men who accompanied him were silent, humbled and awed by the revelation. Their prior envy and rivalry dissipated like morning mist. As they descended the mountain, the village came into sight, bathed in the soft glow of dawn. The men felt different, transformed not just by the revelation but also by the journey itself. It was as if they had shed layers of ignorance and ego, revealing new skins of wisdom and humility. When they arrived, the entire village had gathered, the tension in the air palpable, a sea of faces anxious and expectant. Chidi stepped forward, holding the moonstone high for all to see. "The ancestors have spoken," he declared. "I am the father of Chima, and it is my destiny to lead this village." A collective gasp followed, then a roar of cheers and ululations. The elders nodded in approval, their faith in ancestral wisdom reaffirmed. Ifeoma, with Chima in her arms, walked over to Chidi. Their eyes met, and in that moment, all the complexities and hardships seemed to melt away, leaving behind a pure, unspoken understanding. As Chidi took his son in his arms for the first time, the village erupted in joyous celebration. But Ifeoma knew that this was just the beginning. They had averted a crisis and perhaps even started a new chapter in their history. But the real work lay ahead, in raising a child destined for greatness and leading a village towards prosperity. Yet, with the moonstone as their guiding light and ancestral wisdom in their hearts, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, together. Several moons had passed since the day Chidi was declared the father of Chima and the future leader of the village. A sense of peace and prosperity seemed to have settled over the community, a testament to the prophecy foretold, or so it seemed. One fateful evening, as Ifeoma was nursing Chima under the shadow of their family hut, she overheard a hushed conversation from behind the thick baobab tree that stood sentinel-like near her home. "You've done well, Chidi. The village suspects nothing, and the prophecy appears fulfilled," came the raspy voice of Abini, the oracle. "My conscience is troubled, Abini. We have deceived the people who trust us, and I am raising a son who is not truly mine." Chidi's voice quivered with regret. "Ah, but you will be a wise and kind ruler. Isn't that what's best for the village?" "A benevolent deception, I call it," Abini responded, her tone chillingly casual. Ifeoma's heart sank. Betrayal, like a stealthy serpent, had entered her garden of trust. As she looked at Chima, innocent and oblivious, a new resolve formed in her mind. The villagers might have been deceived, but they deserved the truth, especially when a future leader was in question. And her son, Chima, deserved to know his true heritage. But how would she expose this conspiracy without plunging the village into chaos once again? Ifeoma knew she had to tread carefully. The moonstone, the very symbol of Chidi's supposed legitimacy, suddenly seemed to her like the lock to a secret that only the true father could unlock. As the village slept, unaware of the storm that was quietly brewing, Ifeoma began to formulate a plan, a test so definitive it would reveal the true father without doubt or dispute. But first, she had to ensure the moonstone's authenticity. If the moonstone was part of the deception, its mystical power could still point to the real father, provided it was subjected to a ritual known only to the most enlightened sages. Under the veil of night, Ifeoma set forth to consult the only person outside the village who could help her, the hermit sage of the ebony forest. Ifeoma's journey through the ebony forest was fraught with risks, hidden pitfalls, nocturnal predators, and the ever-menacing darkness. But a mother's determination knows no bounds, especially when the future of her child is at stake. Deep within the forest, where ancient trees seemed to touch the heavens, Ifeoma finally reached the secluded dwelling of the hermit sage. With a long, flowing beard and eyes that held the wisdom of ages, the sage welcomed her. "I have been expecting you, Ifeoma," the sage began. "The forest whispers tales, and your plight has not gone unnoticed." Gathering her composure, Ifeoma told the sage everything: the birth of Chima, the journey to the sacred mountain, and the overheard conspiracy between Chidi and Abini. "I seek the truth, wise one," she concluded. "Can the moonstone still reveal Chima's true father?" The hermit sage stroked his beard thoughtfully before speaking. "The moonstone is an ancient relic of truth. Its power can be manipulated, but it cannot be entirely corrupted. There exists a ritual, lost to time but known to me, that can cleanse the stone of any deceptions." Hope kindled in Ifeoma's eyes as she listened intently to the sage. "You must perform the ritual of truth on the night of the new moon. The moonstone, bathed in the sacred waters of the Whispering Lake and subjected to this ritual, will shine only in the hands of the true father." Armed with newfound hope and the elaborate instructions from the hermit sage, Ifeoma thanked him and journeyed back to the village, her heart pounding with a mixture of hope, fear, and anticipation. She arrived just before dawn, slipping back into her home unnoticed. In her eyes was a glimmer of resolve, for she knew what had to be done next: retrieve the moonstone from its guarded sanctuary and prepare it for the ritual of truth. The stakes were sky high. If she succeeded, the entire village would finally know the truth. But if she failed, she risked not just her own reputation but the very peace and harmony that currently blanketed her community. As she laid Chima back into his crib, she looked at her son, his small face serene in sleep, completely unaware of the turmoil surrounding his young life. The new moon was just 3 nights away, and Ifeoma knew that the future of her family and her village would be irrevocably altered by what the moonstone would reveal, or what it would fail to. Will Ifeoma's daring plan succeed in revealing the true father of Chima? What new challenges will arise as the village faces the shocking truths and decisions that could change their future forever? Don't miss the gripping conclusion in Part 2, where secrets are unveiled, and destinies are fulfilled. Watch out for Part 2 to discover the fate of Ifeoma, Chima, and the entire village.
I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below so we can all learn together. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more enchanting stories. See you next time.